I think you guys are going to like this. Welcome to the long-anticipated return of the Old School series. Let's get into it as I'm going to showcase to you guys this wonderful farm. As we're getting ready to kick off our opening harvest, I cannot remember what the actual name of this map is, but it is a Mississippi-based map. We have a shed absolutely full, and I mean full, of great old pieces of equipment. If you guys are wondering where some of these vehicles are from, these are from LG Customs. Now, he gave me permission to do my own edits, because you can quite literally tell that looks like Spencer's truck. But the rest of those are on his Patreon. The 8650, a four-wheel drive articulate. It's got a 4960 with the front wheel assist, a 4440, and then I had to, all right? I have no real reason to have it, but we brought the 1468 over here. This thing just sounds awesome. TX66 New Holland, 875 J&M grain cart, the New Holland baler that I know and love. 12-row Kinsey 3600 along with a, what is it, Dakota and the International cab over. I did bring over the 130, little skid steer. We got 3 bins on the farmstead itself. The map overview is honestly pretty nice. The main road runs along field 64 up to 48. I do own a plethora of land. I kind of want to tackle corn first, meaning we'll go up to field 75. Got my plow truck. You know all these old farms, they just got random trucks laying around the yard everywhere. Farm King rake, old International cultivator, did get the Landol, manure spreader, straw blower, and the International reel mower. Pigstry sits on the left side of the farm. We've already gotten a couple oinky oinkies. Holy cow, that is a big piece of bacon. When I originally bought these little guys, they were just tiny little piglets. It's Charlotte's Web all grown up. Let's get the 4960 onto the auger wagon and the combine ready to transport. Got my trusty 6-row header. Don't need to load it on a trailer. It's as wide as a combine to take it down the road. If you guys are fans of the Old School series and you want to see me bring more of this content to the table, you already know to head down below, possibly consider smashing that like button and subscribing. We're also going to have to dig that truck out, and that's going to be an entertaining show. I'm going to have to flip that hitch so it sits the opposite direction. Looks like the wagon's sitting a little far back. We'll take the old 4960 first because I want to get you guys the layout of what this series is really going to entail. Old School is a sentimental piece of this channel, so as tradition, we're going to be bringing you guys a lot of content based on older ag machinery. There is no set year that I'm going to be working with, and unlike our last rendition, I'm not really giving myself a budget. We're not in debt, we don't have any shortage of machinery, we're just going to kind of have fun with the old equipment. I intend to do mainly row crop farming, but we also will do a little bit of hay on the side. I have some ground that I'll either convert to hay ground or I already have as grass hay ground. There is our other bin site. There's 4 more West Steel bins right off the side of the highway. I've been playing around on this map for about a week and a half or so, and I love the layout of it. It does seem to be a little bit flat in certain areas, but when you get to the more populated parts of the map, it really does just look so good. Also, where's the traffic? Oh, there's the traffic. We might get past. If you can see that grain leg just on the top of the yellow tree, that's really specific, I know. There you go, zoomed in. That is the corn dryer for the co-op in town. They mainly run out of the rail yard, but I can't remember what a place like to the right of me is. This map has a couple different production chains, and sometimes it's kind of hard to tell what does what. That's interesting. What? Never mind, we're gonna have to pick a different field to go and harvest. Of course, the one field I pick was already harvested. Why? 87's just down this dirt road. We'll just head that way. Man, it is a trek and a half to get back here. There's the corn we're looking for. Yeah. Ooh. That's some nice shaders. Now we're getting ready to harvest. I have yet to use this corn header, and the only thing I'm concerned about is that the header kind of sinks into the ground a bit, so I'm hoping that it doesn't cause any collision issues. We are harvesting. Corey was successful bringing the International over. And until we get it opened up, I'm just going to kind of keep everything off to the side. These rows look horrible trying to follow. We might be here for a little while. For only pulling in 6 rows, it is looking like pretty good yieldage. 5%, and we went that far? When you guys are out there playing on your old school or older style of farms, whether it's 19, 22, or 25, what's kind of the header width that you guys usually like to use? Some might think I'm crazy for wanting to run a 6-row header with this much ground, but when I tell you guys I love having these kinds of series where you can feel a lot more relatable, there are so many farmers around my area that their combines only run 8 to 12 row headers, and even a lot of some of these guys only run 6 rows. Not everybody's able to afford the big 12 and 16 row headers. For as old as this New Holland is, it's doing a pretty good job with the separation. And with that in mind, let's crank the radio, pop up the drone, and get some shots.
Picking up the pieces of my sweet shattered dream. I wonder how the old folks are tonight. Her name was Anne, and I'll be damned if I recall her face. She left me not knowing what to do. Carefree highway, let me slip away on you. Carefree highway, you've seen better days, the morning after blues, from my head down to my shoes. Slip away on you.
I'm not sure exactly how much this wagon fills that Dakota. I think the Dakota is about a 1,000 bushel trailer. He originally was on the far side of the field, but he moved his way over. Hold on. Stay there, Daryl. Stay there. Stay. Daryl! Daryl! Stay! There you go. Seems as though that wagon holds a little over 31,000 liters. We had this magical thing called unit convert. I'd be able to tell all this stuff in bushel, but yes, 38.8. We'll keep an eye on and make sure he doesn't pull a Corey. Let's check back when we have a little bit more of the field eaten up. Then we'll know what we're going to be working with. I personally do not have a grain dryer at my farm, which is why we're going to be using the co-ops. I need to get the bin sites set up, because if we don't have them set, then we can't dump anything into them. As much as I'd like to take Spencer 6.0 over to the field, I think you guys are more interested in that 70 F250. Let's turn the key on this bad boy and see what she sounds like. True shotgun exit exhaust. This is a Ford farm. I don't know about you guys, but I am a big-time Ford man. Let's get on the road. Gravity wagons aren't that expensive, but we might be able to just fund one. Costs 20 grand. I don't know if I want to pay that. Got anything cheaper? 10 grand for a Parker. That's nice. I've honestly been away from the operation for a little bit, so let's go check back with the boys and see where they're at.
12 seconds later.
Never mind. Having too much fun with the exhaust. This thing is moving. Listen to that baby roar. Ooh, perfect. Daryl's almost full, and I just got here. Hold on, Daryl. My luck, his pipe is going to be sitting to the inside, and ooh, look at that ground deformation. That's cool. Are my suspicions true? Yep, they are definitely true. Never mind, his pipe is to the correct side. Attaboy, Daryl. Hold on, buddy. I'm on my way. Just please stop at the end of the row so I can actually empty you out. I'd like to use the combine Grant and I had on Ashton Corners back in 22, but that one hasn't been converted yet. I think it's a TR series. This is like the European one. I'm gonna wait to take in the truck because the amount of corn sitting left there could easily fit to top off that trailer. Then Daryl can jump over and start the other big chunk of the field. This series will definitely make for some really good harvest streams because of how much work we have to do. That way we can break up the content in between Walter's farm and the Bucked Up Hay farm. I love Bucked Up Hay as much as the next guy, but we have so much recording that we do on that series throughout the week. Want to change it up for you guys. Don't want to be that guy, but I think the ruts are a little excessive, Giants. Maybe just a little. That hitch is also driving me nuts. I need to flip that thing upside down, otherwise this wagon's going to literally drive me bonkers. Anybody got a portable service rig? Maybe? Alright, Daryl, let's go. Let me know down below, guys, when should we or should we ever upgrade our system to a 24-row planter and a 12-row header? I know for certain I'd like to get an STS combine if and when those do come out. But seriously, other than the combine, I'm kind of fine with everything we got. Maybe some implements, but that's it. Guess 1,000 bushel Kinsey wouldn't hurt. The 1050. I feel like I'm harvesting with Grant, that tiny little 6-row. I'm hoping to be out at Hilbert's farm this year, whether it's through planting or harvesting. Just kind of depends on when they give me a call or not. The route to get back home is a little interesting with this semi. It's kind of all over the place, and you gotta watch out for the trees. There's a good chance we'll send the 4-wheel drive over to the field that we thought needed harvested. That way we can get ahead of our tillage application. But man, oh man, is this road rough. Plus, we're like halfway into the creek bed. Fastest way to get stuck in a ditch 101. Dang, now that I think about it, it might just be easier to take this to the co-op and start drying it out. Yeah, I think we'll take it to the co-op. There's no point in driving all the way back to the house when we're gonna have to take it to the co-op anyway to go and dry it. Except we need pig food. Can it, Buck? There's enough grain in that field to feed the pigs. Just take it to the co-op. How to get to the co-op? That's the better question. Haven't really taken the city streets. Ooh, go before the bus gets here. Go before the bus gets here. I think this town's in need of a landscaper. Anybody know of a good landscaping company we could use to come out and mow these yards? I hate to be the guy that has one of those really long stretch frames. This looks like it'd be a pain in the butt to whip around in. At least they give you a big wide open grass field. Corn's going in and dryer is running. That's the way we like it. $4.83 for dried corn. What's regular corn price? $2.47. $5.05 in January, so if we double that for dry corn, we're looking at, yeah, $1,000. Ooh, we could make some money this year. Of course, the fee of the co-op holding it won't help, but I don't think it's double the price if we were to sell it wet. Daryl's got to be getting close to full. I got to make my way back. I was kind of having my hopes up because I saw the AI was right next to the wagon. I'm like, there ain't no way this combine drove over to empty out, and then, yeah, you get the point. It didn't work. I'm gonna need you guys' help with a massive task. Our good friend Andy is great at keeping my tractors clean, but what we need to help him with is giving him the justifications to open up a new merchandise store. And Andy pretty much said to me, let me know how your stuff does, that way he can see if it's worth it for him to do it. Well, I want to jump that process and have you guys go and let him know. I need everybody to head over to Andy's Instagram and Facebook, which are linked in the description, and let that man know in his comment sections, #WeWantAndy. If we can show that man enough support, we are going to have readily available Andy Clean merchandise as soon as possible. He's not going to know that you want his stuff until you tell him. Andy, I know you might be listening to this, so you're probably going to get bombarded. I'm not sure if it's just the perspective of the cab camera, or that piece of glass is just that big. That's a huge piece of glass. I think we'll call Corey and see if he can run to town and grab that Parker wagon. We'll check back when we're heading back in with another truckload to the house. If there's one thing that I know about old tractors is that they definitely sound amazing. The problem is, these things suck when it comes to road gear speeds. We're gonna send this tractor over to that north side field because it's gonna take a while for him to get there, but the boys should be getting close to finishing up the farm down south. With a little bit of tillage, another round of corn to the co-op, and getting the piggies fed, I think we're pretty much set for today's episode. Ooh, you know what I just thought about? We could actually get a big bud at some point for this farm. I got a lot more important priorities to think about than buying that. But if we get a Series 1, 2, or 3 that might come out, dang, that might be a really good cheap horsepower option. Because this is my only tractor to do any of that right now. Man, I have to laugh the first time I use this thing. I didn't have the drawbar set up high enough, so the wings were pretty much digging into the ground, and every time I tried to turn the corner, this thing would bog in power and I couldn't get it to work right. Well, once I finally found out that you have to, raise the tongue like this, it made it a lot easier to turn this thing around. I couldn't help it, I got curious. Oh, he is getting close. We might get 2 full trailers out of this field. This AI might actually be smarter than I think it is, because previously he'd have just kept going back and forth on these passes. I've been getting aggravated because he'll just randomly go off and do his thing, but strategically speaking, both passes now would have the pipe on the outside. Daryl, you might have really just gotten yourself a pay raise as a combine operator. You know who I miss? Kevin. Kevin retired at the end of the Nebraska Farm Series, for those that don't remember or don't know. My beloved Farm Sim AI characters. Daryl is always and still will be the combine operator. And Corey, I just can't trust that guy to save my life. But I'll give him the benefit of the doubt that he has gotten better. We'll top off the rest of the truck after this run, and then we'll take that into the house and see what we got. The only thing I'm concerned about dropping Daryl off is that the AI tends to have a problem with that four-wheel drive. So if I come back and he's just like somewhere all the way over in the neighbor's field because he can't figure it out, we'll take over once we get done with this circus. I just don't have another tractor that's powerful enough to pull that land all besides the four-wheel drive. I'm trusting you, Daryl. Don't mess it up, please. I'm off to feed the piggies, the wonderful piggies of hogs. That made no sense. Corey did confirm he got the gravity wagon back to the house with the auger system set up. Feed the pigs first, loop our way back around, dump what's ever left in the bins. Other than checking out on Daryl to make sure he didn't screw up, it's smooth sailing from here. There, I finally got it. It's a very, very small dump area for the auger under this. Even then, it's still shut off. What the heck? I gotta move it ever so slightly for it to go in. I would think 8,000 liters is enough to start us out, but if need be, I could probably just drive the semi-truck over. It just seems more realistic to do it with this wagon. 6.0 can definitely feel it behind it, that's for certain. Prepare for liftoff. Here you go, piggies. Eat up. I think I'm gonna name that one Porky and the other one Chop. Once we kick into that possibility of harvesting wheat, that'll help with the grain, and of course we already have the soybeans ready to go for protein. Let's dump the rest in the bins, and we're gonna go check on Daryl. What a truth. Did he get stuck at all? It doesn't look like it, but where's he at? Where'd he go? Daryl? Wait, I think I see him. Is he stuck on the ditch? What is he doing over there? Yep, this tractor I think has a severe problem with its AI thing. It's not Daryl himself, which I know if this was Corey, I'd start yelling at him. Meaning I'll have to go look into the code to see what I can do to fix the AI on this tractor. Until then, I'm just gonna have to do the work myself. Not a big problem, but definitely is not a time saver by any stretch of any mean. This is a downright gorgeous tractor mod, I won't lie. But that is one thing about the new 25 system, is that they do not like older coding from 22, and the game can get very finicky on how these pieces of equipment drive. This being an articulate does not help it. We'll get it figured out, I'm not too worried. The Landall does save a lot of time because it puts the ground directly to a seed bed, but it's not as deep of tillage as, say, my little cultivator back at the house. So in case we're gonna need to rip up the ground a little bit heavier than this does, we at least have that little international, but that can be pulled by the 4960, or if I'm really getting antsy, the 4440. Pretty sure that is all we have for you guys today on Bucked Up Farming. As this playlist grows, be sure to check out the top right-hand corner to stay up to date on the old school series. I'm gonna keep rolling away on this throughout the night, so remember to keep it light, keep it loose, keep it fresh, and most importantly, keep it fun. We shall see you guys on the next one. This is the Rental Man out. Peace.